What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time joining the show, welcome to the show. Hey, I want to tell you, I am going on tour. The Freeze Peach Tour is coming to your town. I'm all over the place. I'm at Frank, California. That's up north. Then I go to Indianapolis. I go to Charlotte. I'll go to Waukee, Iowa, which is basically Des Moines. Des Moines. I screwed it up last time. That's Des Moines, Iowa, Waukee, Iowa, Omaha, Nebraska, Kansas City, Cleveland, St. Louis, Grand Rapids, Detroit, New Orleans, down there in New Orleans, San Antonio, Chicago, my home, Durham, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Charleston, Philly, New York, Phoenix, San Francisco, San Diego, Boston, Massachusetts, which, by the way, we added a second show. Let's hope we add 3 and 4 and 5 at the Wilbur Theater. Minneapolis, Minnesota for the final 2 shows to wrap up the tour February of next year. I am coming to you. We're adding cities as we go, so don't fret if you don't see your city or hear it. We're coming. We're adding them as we go. We're working with venues. Go to andrewsantino.com for those tickets. andrewsantino.com for those tickets.
In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people. I don't know if I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again today. It is the return of Sam Morril.
Good to
and he
see
has
you,
a
man.
special out right now. Great to see you, my friend. Please go watch his special. It is available on
Amazon. You've changed. Give it a watch, man.
How incredible that you've changed. You switched, huh? To
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
This guy, huh?
Free agent signing, man.
Everybody jump ship, dude.
I
Free
heard you did
agency.
too.
I went to Hulu. I'm on Hulu now. Well, I won't be there till next year, but Hulu is... I can't say the names. I'm sorry, but there's a bunch of new comics on switching to Amazon
I heard.
and Hulu.
Yeah, no, I met with them too, and I heard the names. I was like, man, they did good.
We all left. Isn't that weird? Why did
Well-
everyone leave? Well, there was other opportunities out there.
Because Netflix is great, but it's like you feel it's the closer you feel like a sports free agent. You're like, I'm going to test the market, see if anyone else likes
not?
me.
Yeah,
And
why
other
not?
people like us.
Yeah, other people like us. I'm gonna go play for another team.
Netflix is like, it's like almost like they're like, you want to come over and like just go down on me? That's their vibe.
Yeah, you're like, do I get to come? And they're like,
No.
I mean, you get to
No.
enjoy me coming? That's what it feels like. That's exactly what it feels like.
So yeah, no, they're also putting out a ton. It's not like I don't think they're losing sleep over losing us.
No, they don't care. They don't care
Yeah.
at all, which is fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but we're moving on. But go watch it right now on Amazon.
Yeah.
Congratulations, that's huge.
I'm pumped, yeah,
Speaking
it's-
of teams and switching, I'm sorry
Yeah.
about the Knicks. I
That's all
apologize.
right.
No, I know it hurts. I
It
saw
hurt
you
bad.
guys. I saw you guys at the games. And look, everybody. I don't care if you're a sports fan or not. Listening to the pod, everyone was rooting for New York. It was just like it's nice when New York.
Not according to my fucking mentions on Twitter. Jesus
Wow.
Christ. I feel like
That's
Philly
trolling.
I feel like Philly they're like trying to dox me. They're like, where does this fucker live? Philly fans are menaces, man.
Yeah, they're evil.
They're hilarious. I'm like the shit I'm getting and Indy after Philly was like nothing.
Yeah.
Indy Twitter, they're like angry, but they're like more angry. They're like, why doesn't anyone pay attention to us?
Well, they're going to church on Sunday. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like after a loss, they'll go pray it away, and they don't care. That's a different kind of anger. Philly is real hatred, real vitriol, which is why I actually love that city because they're like, they give so much of a fuck. It's crazy. They're
Oh, yeah.
animals. These people.
I
I really like them.
I was game 2. I was courtside for the game where Dante hit the one shot that won the game for us
Awesome.
before the Hardenstein block, and holy shit, that was epic. That was to be courtside for that. Second I leave, Shane Gillis is texting me like, "You motherfucker, they fouled him. They fouled." It's like funny you see like an ugly side,
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, but then of course I'm that guy in game 5. I'm like, there was a foul,
Yeah.
You turn into that guy so easily, but yeah, he was fuming.
Okay, tell me. Let's call them out right now because I know you're a diehard. You are actually a diehard Knicks fan. You see a lot of guys in New York pop out of the woodwork that became Knicks fans. Did you see anybody that you were like, when did you start liking the fucking Knicks and you're coming around a little bit, huh?
I don't, as long as they don't act like they've been there the whole
Okay,
time,
okay,
I don't
right.
care. But like,
Because
no,
you see people on the internet, I'm like, is this guy's a Knicks fan, huh? I didn't know that this was...
well, you said before, like you were saying, like people like kind of adopted the Knicks because they're such a fun team.
It is. It's
Because I
great.
don't think anyone expected them to be this awesome. Like no one is any of these guys. Brunson, fucking.
People thought they would do good, have a good
Yeah.
season, but I don't think anybody thought they were going to go as far as they went.
But now we're kind of like, oh shit, they would have gone further if it wasn't for everyone being injured. So yeah, next year I'm pumped. I love the whole squad. They just got to bring everyone back. You know?
All right, by the time this episode comes out, who knows? Because this will be coming out when your special's out.
Yeah.
Boston?
They're good, man. I don't know.
I think so, dude.
I know.
I hope so. I put some money on them.
Did you?
Yeah, dude, like a
Fuck.
fool. I put some money on Boston just because I feel like it's, I don't know, it's a story that needs to be told.
It's
The
fu-
Kyrie of it all is kind of fascinating to
He's
me. It's
unbelievable. He's probably like my favorite guy to watch, though.
He's
It's-
incredible, but it is cool to see this unusual rivalry. It's not a rivalry, but it has become so.
Because because there's so many trades now that no matter what, no matter who's there, they're like, he used to play there.
I know, it's wild.
Porzingis, Kyrie.
Everyone switched. It's like everyone left where. I think that kind of adds to the element of the drama of the
You
game.
can't buy a jersey anymore.
I know.
That could be like your enemy in 2 months. You don't know how it works, dude. Boston, it's tough. I taped the special in Boston because I'm like, I love the Wilbur, but people were telling me they're like, oh, you taping the fucking enemies? I'm like, do you know how touring works?
Yeah.
It's a good city.
Yeah, what are we talking
It's not
about?
like I hate the city.
Boston's
I like the
probably
people.
one of my favorite comedy cities that
Oh,
I've
it's
ever.
the best.
Every time I go back there, I'm like,
I love them.
This is the great. You taped at the Wilbur.
Yeah.
What a choice.
Yeah.
That's such a great venue.
Yeah, you did Denver last time, right?
I did Denver last time.
That's a sick one too.
And this upcoming, I don't know if I can. Well, I'll say it.
Yeah.
It's not locked yet, but I'm not shooting it for a while. But it's supposed to be in Minneapolis. I'm supposed
That's
to
a
go to
good
Minnesota.
one.
Dude, I loved it. I don't know. Every time I've gone out there, they've treated me really well, and I'm doing it in the winter, which is always good for comedy in the Midwest because people are like, let's go out of our house, go watch a show.
booze bags.
Dude, that's what I said. If you go to the Midwest in like July, they're on the lake. They're nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
That is such a tough time to do shows. Every time I
they're
go home.
great audience there.
No, they're the best.
Midwest
So,
is great.
Midwest is great. So hopefully this will work out. I think we're trying to lock this up, and then I'll do that. But you taped in at the Wilbur, such a great historic venue. And people that don't know, I mean, it's like a comedian's. All comics love the Wilbur.
You know what's great too? There was a guy at a show. I did the Wilbur last year too, and there was a guy at the show last time who's heckling me, and he's like telling me somehow we get to this story out of him at the end of the show. Like I'll do my hour, but then I'll start fucking around. And he was like, last time I was here was for Nick Swardson, and I was so happy that I did a Terry impression on the train afterwards. And some gay guy thought I was making fun of him because he's Swardson's character from Reno
Yeah, with the
911.
roller skates.
Yeah, so he's doing that impression. Some gay guy thinks he's mocking him. They get into a fight. He beats the shit out of the gay guy. He goes to prison, and he comes out and he's telling the story at my show. And I was like, "Well, did you learn your lesson?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a better person." I'm like, "All right, good." He's at my taping again, and he heckles me too. I'm like, I know that voice. Right. I was like, are you the hate crime guy? He's like, I'm the hate crime guy. I'm like, geez, he's back. The hate crime guy's back. But he was like, I bettered myself. Of course, the thing he yelled out at the end of my taping, I was like, all right, tell me your problem and I'll solve it. And his problem was that he got drunk and pissed on his couch. I'm like, all right, he hasn't gotten that much better. Right. It's better than hate crime.
Yeah, no more
Baby
beating up
steps.
homosexuals in the streets, but you're not blacking out and pissing yourself. I mean, you know.
Such a Boston heckle. I love it. But
an accidental hate crime is very funny. It's a
pretty
very
good.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know what I mean? It's like, we didn't know.
Larry, if he was Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Boston was, but we were just talking about this before we were rolling. Like every city's in the toilet now. It's hilarious that like you watch on the news and they're like, oh, and the cities are dangerous. And like since I was a kid, I'm like, give me a break. But now I'm like, that's kind of shady in every city.
I know. Well, dude, we started it. Chicago, my hometown, started it.
Yeah.
We got worse fast. For some reason, we got bad so fast, and then it started to creep into other major cities where New York forever, you know, New York is one of those places where I've always felt pretty safe. You know what I mean
To
by
an
that.
extent.
To an extent, of course.
But it's gotten shady.
But it's gotten a little shady.
I'm in a nice neighborhood, and I went outside just to like write the other day, just to sit outside, and there were so many people on drugs who were like aggressive, just going nuts. I'm like, holy shit, I can't write because I can't focus because I'm just like, I got to keep my guard up a little bit.
Get just a little sketched out.
But there's not a lot. You can't be like, do you mind? I'm working on the screenplay. This is a little rude. I know that your life's in the toilet, but it's pretty rude that I can't
Look, I don't know what your dad did to you, but I'm doing Act 3 right now, and it's very important. It's integral to the story. No, did you see the guy? There was a guy in Southern California here on the news. Look up this fucking lunatic. Had a mental break, and this is the first time I've ever heard of this. He was just shooting at traffic. He was standing on the side of the road shooting at traffic. Yeah,
Oh my God.
But he had something, you know.
I mean, we've all felt that way in L.A.
100%. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah,
but he
it's
was
bad.
walking along the side of the street, just shooting at cars. Where did this
my
happen?
God.
Was it down south? It was in Orange County or something. But you could tell, you know, something. He had a mental crack, and he's literally like walking. He looks calm. They have, you know, CCTV cameras, you know, like or whatever. And he's just walking along the street near a gas station, and then he just stops and he just pulls out a gun and he's just shooting into traffic. I mean, and it is cars going probably 30, 40 miles an hour. So it's like the flow, not bumper to bumper. So he's shooting at cars as they're zipping by, and he killed a guy, right? He killed a father or something like that.
Yeah, it was in South LA.
South LA, yeah.
Oh my God.
And he shot one. He shot at a bunch of cars, but one hit. And the first ugly thought I had, I was like, how unlucky is that motherfucker? That for the timing of a bullet to go through, you know what I mean? The car's flying by. The bullet that got the guy on the thing, I was like, what are the chances?
I mean,
he was shooting blindly into cars. It wasn't like he's aiming at all. This isn't John Wick. You know what I mean? He's fucking.
that's brutal. There was a guy too that got carjacked, the General Hospital guy here. At like
Oh, and he
3 a.m.
died. And they shot him
died.
downtown. I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is like, again, you know this about New York. We all know this about these major cities. There's sometimes places at certain times of day you're like, I shouldn't be over there.
Yeah, well,
And you would know better.
But a lot of these guys on drugs, they're not like. I feel bad for cops, man. Because how do you deal with these people? They're not. It's not like they respond. They're like zombies, right?
Yeah.
They're so drugged out. So I saw a guy walk into the coffee shop, and there was only one person working. I was like, let me just hang outside. But in the back of my head, I'm like, what am I going to be able to do?
Nothing.
There's
Yeah,
nothing.
Nothing.
These dudes all have like the strength of Tony Montana in the last scene of Scarface, where like you shoot bullets at them, you feel like they're not going to go down. They're on these like drugs where you're like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's relentless. But also they have you know, there's an idea that like sometimes people who are in distress have nothing to lose. Those guys have so little to lose.
Yeah.
They can't wait for you to say the wrong thing. Where it's like, yeah, say some
Yeah.
dumb shit to me. But it's also, this is where corporate kicks in. This is where the corporate if a guy walks into a Starbucks, they have to take action immediately to protect.
Yeah.
But the mom and pop boutique coffee shops, they have to let that guy go take a shit in the bathroom. Otherwise, you know what I mean? Otherwise,
Yeah.
they're breaking this like mom and pop, we're cool code.
I don't know, dude. Yeah.
Out here, it happens though. You see them walk into these kind of places at a Starbucks, or a corporate place, they'll kick you the fuck out
Yeah,
immediately.
but
Like CVS,
that ain't fair for what they're paying them. That they have to now be
I
security.
know. No, it sucks. Well, CVS has security. You know, like they have security guards now.
Yeah,
out
but don't you
front.
think COVID kind of killed that? Where like people just started stealing, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not doing shit."
But isn't that ironic? It's not homeless guys on drugs stealing.
Yeah, it's just
These are just
people-
like functioning
they know
people.
they can steal.
Yeah, they know they can steal. Yeah, they're just like people with jobs. They're like, I'm taking this. Fuck this. For the first time.
You hear Walmart's not stopping us anymore? They're like, "Yeah, we should go." That's it.
By the way, I went to Costco for the first time. I've never been to Costco in Los Angeles, California. Never.
Costco's pretty fun.
Dude, I went for the first time because
Yeah.
I was like, we were going to get a TV, and in my mind, back in the day, you would hear people be like, dude, Costco has TVs for half the price of, but you know, whatever. So we go in there, and I see a TV I like, and I was like, hey, this is fucking awesome. That's really well priced. But just because I'm a cynic, I was like, hold on. And I Google it. The same price at Best Buy. Same price at, like everywhere. And I was like, this isn't a thing anymore? Costco used to be like, you could go get like dope shit for a little bit cheaper because of the membership or whatever?
I never got like a TV or anything there, but just getting like, I feel like you get like a shitload of muffins for like a cheap. you
Yeah,
know?
but how many muffins do I fucking need?
Well, that's the point. It's like you
Yeah,
do
it's
it for
buying
like
in bulk.
You know, that was like that was an early
Yeah.
Sam joke, because I was like, you know, you can't break up with a girl if you go to Costco right after. Like, I hate you too, but we got a jug of animal crackers we have to finish. That was early Sam, clean, trying to get on Letterman Sam. But no, I mean, yeah, you get like a big Hellman's mayo thing. That's what it's for. Toilet
See, that
paper
scares me. Yeah. Well, it feels like it's built for Mormons.
for hoarders.
Yeah, Mormon hoarders.
Yeah.
Families of like 40, because it's absurd when you see people walk out of there with 96 rolls of toilet paper. You're like, come on, man.
They're the people that everyone hated during COVID. The people that are like hoarding shit.
That's so funny.
But that it was made. It's kind of made for COVID.
No, it's perfect for COVID. Yeah, I found when we moved out, I found old COVID ration spot tucked away above our fridge. Like
Only rations is like prison, COVID, and the Holocaust. That's where you hear that shit. The worst.
And which one was really the worst, Sam?
I deny both. I don't know.
No,
I was just watching the new Hitler thing on Netflix. It's pretty good.
Wait, what is it? What do you mean?
It's like a.
That's why I don't do Netflix anymore, by the way, because they're
docudrama.
Hitler stuff. That's why I refuse. You support Hitler Netflix, and I'm sick of it. Wait, it's a docudrama. What's it called? What is this called?
Yeah,
Hitler and the Nazis, evil on trial.
Yeah, it was good.
Whoa.
Oh, dude.
What was the trial?
The bitter comic who's like, they got money for Hitler, but not for. I have to go to Amazon. Thanks, Netflix. No, yeah, it's cool. It's a good one. But
Is it just the insight of a lunatic? It's just like it's a docu.
It's Nuremberg, so they're doing the trials.
Oh God, yeah.
And then it's just hilarious that a guy had to like defend the Nazis. There's a guy like, you think OJ's a bad gig? This guy had to get the Nazis, you know. But it's pretty good.
Can you imagine at his firm they were like, and one of our newest hirees is going to be taking this new case. It's like, yes, fuck yeah, what is it? It's Hitler. We feel like you've got the skill set and the ability to like, they threw it that to the guy that was like, I don't think I want to. Well,
dude,
I don't think I want to do this.
We're watching, and it's like I was watching with my girlfriend, and she's just like, this rise is like very similar to Trump, and I'm like, can we stop with that?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a dick, but like you're kind of trivializing the Holocaust whenever you compare Hitler to Trump.
It's a little different.
Or Trump to Hitler, rather.
Just a little different. A little different. Yeah, no, it's.
But I get it. You say shit like. There are certain talking points you say to rile people up. I get that, but once you start comparing Trump,
his sensationalism is similar, right? Like
of course,
his chaotic, not similar to Hitler. I mean, similar to like any kind of wild dictator leader. He has the same sensational.
He studies
ideology.
dictators. You can tell, for sure, and he talks about Mein Kampf.
100%.
He talks about it, but
it's a good book. They say the Bible's the good book. I say Mein Kampf is the good book.
But I mean, we're talking about like a narcissist versus like a pure sociopath. There's a difference.
Totally different. Yeah, Trump just.
I don't think Trump believes anything. I think he's just like, that sounds like good. I'll do that. Works for me. You know.
Right. You know what's so funny? If that energy is just directed just one notch differently, it's just a cool guy that goes along with everything.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But his is ego and power, where the other side of it is a guy going. Someone in the room, there's always a guy or someone in the room and they're like, what do you want? Is pizza good? And some guy's always like, yeah, it's fine. That guy. It's a dial away from like, yeah, I like everything that everybody likes. I just want to feel good.
Or Trump he'll go the other way. I feel like he'd be fun for talking shit where you'd be like, this pizza sucks. He's like, worst pizza I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. And then a second later, you're like, that pizza's not bad. And you go, not bad at all. It's actually not bad. I don't mind. I actually don't mind that pizza.
He's good in a bachelor party type group.
Yeah, 100%.
You need a Trump in a bachelor party.
Everybody needs a Trump in their crew. Yeah, he's not the same, but he's, he's 77?
Something like that. He's getting up there. But he's a vibrant 77.
Yeah, but 77.
It's old.
I just feel like we have a minimum age. We should have a maximum age. I do feel that.
Yeah.
35 is low, right? Isn't that the lowest age? You could be 35 to be president.
Yes.
I feel like the ceiling to me, like 65. Past 65, you're like, you're not really in tune with what is coming down the road. And also, it's not going to affect you. By the time the youth in their 20s really get into the thriving part of the economy and the business world, you're dead. That 65-year-old will not be around in 25 years. The likelihood is extremely low. So it's just kind of like...
So you don't really care about the future.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you're at that point, what the fuck do you care? Because in 15 to 20 years, that's not going to affect you.
Well, you had the bit about Kamala Harris and Biden. You're like, push him.
Push him. What are you waiting? What could you be waiting for? Yeah.
I mean, they're just so fucking old.
Biden's older than Israel.
That sounds like a roast joke.
Yeah,
this motherfucker's older than Israel.
He's 81.
Yeah.
82?
And he was born in 1942.
That is if you believe in Israel. Come right back.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. He's 81, right? 81?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, it's just too much. I do think there should be a ceiling. It should just be a cap because then you have enough. I mean, like, look at JFK. He was 40, when he became president? I want to say 43.
He was young.
He was one of the youngest of all time.
Yeah.
43, 44, because he died at 46 or 47.
Yeah, 43.
That's crazy young.
Yeah.
But, like, that's our age. Like,
yeah.
That I feel like is not too young, but I would be so scared to have that kind of power.
Like a friend where you're like, you're president?
You're president.
Yeah. It's
well, that's how, that's how
that.
Soder talks about McDaniel, where he's
The
like,
coach,
you coaching a football team?
Yeah.
Didn't we used to Get high in my
I'm
basement.
still that way with. I'm like, you're gonna have kids?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still that way with my friends.
Yeah.
But
They're
that's
giving you a kid?
But yeah, man. I was just started listening to this like JFK podcast like about his assassination. It's Rob Reiner and Soledad O'Brien, but it's pretty good actually.
I love Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
he's
my
the man.
God, he's the best.
They're talking. What are they? Is it a conspiratorial thing?
Yeah,
or is
very,
it,
very
yeah,
conspiratorial.
Love,
and
love,
I'm not a
love.
big conspiracy theory guy, but like that one's like a fucking layup. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
The two that even if you're not a conspiracy theory, like that and Epstein are like pretty
wide
I'm
open.
good with
Yeah,
it.
we see it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this lines up. This
lines
all
up.
kind of lines up. Well, have you been to where JFK got shot? Have you been there?
Yeah, yeah.
I used to tell a joke on stage. I used to say, when we went there, me and Chris O'Connor, and we were a little hungover. We'd gone out the night before, and we made it down there.
His head hurt too.
That's it.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Hey, I'm going on vacation soon. So many of you are as well because it's the summertime. I'm taking off. I'm going on a journey. And guess what? I am using Viator. Bobby, my good friend, got me a little gift from Viator the last time I went on vacation. Viator is so great. It's a tool you can use to plan and book travel experiences around the world. Anywhere you go, Viator, the app and the website make it easy to explore over 300,000 plus travel experiences so you can discover what's out there no matter where you're traveling and what you're interested in. This is my favorite thing. They help you plan perfect travel experiences. When you're traveling around, you don't know what to do and you don't want to do too much research because you kind of want to see what the locals are up to. Viator takes care of all this stuff. They help you plan the tour your way, however you want to vacation, relax, or if you want to only do adventurous stuff and go nuts, they got that too. They got free cancellation, helps you plan for that unexpected, 24/7 customer service. You know you're going to get help if things don't go as planned, which they usually don't. Vacation changes all the time. And they want to help you plan a better travel experience, so you very much so must try them if you're going anywhere, no matter how big or small your group is. And they got real traveler reviews, so you know it's legit from people that have done those experiences that you are interested in trying. I've used them, and I love them, and I will continue to do so because they help make travel a little bit more fun. Download the Viator app now. Use the code Viator10 for 10% off your first booking in the app. Find travel experiences for you. Download the Viator app right now. Use the code Viator10 for 10% off your first booking in the app. Do more with Viator. You smell that? I smell good because I'm using Mando whole body deodorant. It's going to be your good friend this summer because you might get a little stinky, huh? Might get a little stinky and sweaty out there. Mando is clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours. That's a lot of hours. Safe for the whole body, by the way. That's my favorite part about Mando. Pits, package, feet, your gooch, your grundle, your nifkin, behind your knees, behind your ears. Wherever you sweat and stink the most, Mando got you, baby. Stops odor before it starts. Stop the problem before it gets there. Available in 4 cologne quality scents. Bourbon leather, which you know I love. Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. Kind of a calling to my heritage there, Clover Woods. From the Clover Woods. They're all so very good, but bourbon leather I think is really, really nice. It smells clean and fresh and almost like you put on a little and you don't even have to. Okay, that's why I like it. You don't have to put on Kalangi. The Mando whole body deodorant. It smells so good. You put it on your undergarment down there. You're under your crevasses underneath you. It was created by a doctor. Saw firsthand how BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated, of course. Mando whole body deodorant. Powerful enough, toughest body odor, but gentle enough to use everywhere that your little bits and pieces and your little pretty jewel parts are, so they don't get annoyed, because it's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. What more do you want out of full-body deodorant? Clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after shower, the average men's grundle odor level was 5 out of 10. Stinky, stinky, Mando. That average grundle odor is a 0 out of 10. It don't stink down there. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Come on, man. Luckily, I got a discount code to help you get hooked up on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off of your starter pack. Use code whiskey at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. That code is whiskey. Shopmando, SHOPMANDO.com. Use that code whiskey.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Comedy. That's my boy. We went there and we both stood on you could stand like right on the X or whatever.
Yeah.
And we looked up at the book depository, and both of us were like, it's a pretty good shot.
He had range.
Pretty good
Yeah.
shot, dude. You got to admit, man, that was so far away. You're like, that's a
Yeah.
pretty good fuck. So clearly, when you go there, you're like, this is so coordinated. To be able to do that from that little nook window in a time, by the way, when the accuracy, you would have to be one of the best shooters in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Not just some lunatic who's been,
You'd have to have some real training.
come on. You'd have to have,
Yeah.
This would have to be, this would have to be a layered incident. There's no fucking chance.
Yeah.
It's creepy and gross. And also when you start to learn about all like the Secret Service that were standing down on certain parts of the car when almost always they would be in line of fire.
A lot of weird shit happened.
Weird,
The fact that
perfect shit.
This nightclub owner Jack Ruby just shot
Right.
Lee Harvey Oswald. It's like a lot of weird stuff had to happen where you're like, does that? And then he claimed he's like, well, I did it to spare his wife having to come down for the whole trial. I'm like, I've never heard of a nightclub owner with a heart. This doesn't sound right. None of this is lining up.
He's
no,
just a really good guy. yeah, he runs nightclubs. Yeah, yes, he has underage people in there and gives them drugs, but he's just a solid guy.
And then he kind of dies weirdly.
Mysteriously,
too.
yeah.
There's so much weird shit going on, and
it's all going to
and
bubble
I'm
up
not.
to the
And as I
surface.
said, I'm not the biggest conspiracy guy, but like, holy shit! As you said, so much weird stuff had to line up.
For all this to kind of go the way that it went, yeah, come on, man. So wait, I want to talk to you. We were talking about go back real fast. I want you to admit, because you were saying the darkness of the cities. Everyone is like, New York is not. New York is. It's getting a little bad.
There's some dicey stuff, and
Yeah.
and believe me,
because everybody fights it online. People are like, no, it's not, but it is though.
Yeah, I think just after COVID, just so many people lost their mind, and then you throw in the drug problem in the country, and you're like, yeah, it's a bad cocktail. I'll definitely take walks where I'm like, yeah, I'm a little on edge here.
But you
for
grew up
sure.
that you did never feel that way when you were
No,
young.
of course not.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of
wasn't.
wild.
I mean, there were definitely like people that would like try to mug you and stuff, but it wasn't like they like you could look into their eyes and see a soul.
right.
I mean, this is like
Right, you see the lights were on.
there's
Yeah.
some they really do. It does feel like. I mean, there's like a real drug problem in the country, and I don't think anyone gives. I think Mayor Adams just wanted to get elected to like meet Beyonce or
100%.
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you get to do as mayor. He's like,
You
I
get to
go
meet Beyonce, yeah.
And I say this as a guy. I did a benefit once, and Mayor Adams was laughing at my jokes, and there's the arrogance of a comedian where you're like, maybe he's a good mayor.
No, of course.
He laughed at my jokes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's not a good mayor. We haven't had a good mayor in so long, and it's.
Who are you talking to? You want to go toe to toe? We've had the worst run. We've had the worst run of all time.
I know.
Our
Yeah.
political electees tell everyone to stay inside and wear a mask during COVID, and then they go have fucking Michelin star
That
dinners.
was the Gavin Newsom
It's insane.
special there.
Dude,
yeah,
that's insane.
He's
Our elected officials in California are bananas. We're the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
We're the worst of the worst.
He's pretty brutal, that guy. I mean, that's the thing. You want a politician to have some fucking soul.
No.
And they just, I mean, also Mayor Adams has like a six-pack. There's something about a guy like who's 60, who's ripped. I'm like, you're not focusing enough on the city.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you have time to be that shredded. I'm sorry.
All mayors should be out of shape.
All it really took was a guy to be like, I used to be a cop. I can turn this city around. I'm like, have you been anywhere? Like,
Right.
it's fucking bad. I mean, look at San Francisco. Look at all these cities that are
Yeah.
like, I think some of the best cities in the country. I love San Francisco.
So do I.
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like European feeling. You have these like hills, these views. It's gorgeous,
It's
great
beautiful.
walking city. But same problem as New York. You have a lot of.
Sketched out.
I mean, yeah. If you have like do you want a kid running out with like a ball? Like
No.
no. It's like
Nah.
a dangerous.
Yeah, well, and also the disparity there is comical. I always say that. You go to like Russian Hill, I think it's Russian Hill, and you're talking like literally $50 million homes. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that isn't.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they still have their ego. New York and SF, these cities now, it feels like a college girl that was like really hot as a freshman and then got like kind of fat, and they're like, still got to work for it, dude. And you're like, I don't know if I still, the taxes in New York are absurd.
Oh, dude,
the bills you have to pay there are crazy, and they're still like, sorry, this is how it's gonna be.
Yeah, but we're suckers. We stay.
Of course, I'm
Yeah.
a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, I can't really advocate for the city anymore.
No.
But I still can't go. It's a sickness.
Yeah, it's almost like when someone's like, "Is that good? What you're eating?" And you're like, "No, but you know what? I need the nutrition, so I'm gonna fucking eat it."
It's awful.
It is.
We're Morgan Spurlock in Super Size Me.
Rest in peace.
Rest
my
in
dog.
peace.
R.I.P. the Spurley.
Who could have pictured that guy wouldn't live long after that movie? Doctors were like, "You shouldn't do this," and he's like, "I got to."
I'll be fine. That
was a good movie, though.
It was so good.
It was really good.
But also then it came out, we talked about this not too long ago on this show, that he was in the throes of his drug and alcohol addiction while he was filming that, which we didn't
you'd
know
have to be.
until posthumously it kind of came out that he was a hardcore alcoholic. So part of his number skewing from that was dirty data because he was getting blacked out eating McDonald's, and you're like,
Jeez.
well, yeah, dude, that's not going to help. There's no control. Oh, there's like, if you're doing an experiment and you're blacking out and also eating McDonald's, the numbers are probably going to get bad.
It's bad.
Like, remember that guy in the doc who would eat a Big Mac every day?
He's still alive.
And he looks
doing
way
it.
better than
Have
Morgan
you seen this man?
Spurlock.
There's a guy that's been eating a Big Mac every day since he was, like 16 or something like that?
Yeah.
And he set the world record. He's still doing it. By the way, this is a Midwest guy. I forget where he lives, but God help me.
I'm gonna
if
guess
it's
like
not.
Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's got to be
He's
something.
from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Bay.
Oh, that's pretty good. I just guessed.
Sam.
Appleton. I've been on those flights. Those are some. They don't let you bring bags on board because the fucking
It's too
people.
heavy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We don't have enough gas to get up to Appleton, so we're going to have to dump some bags. Dude, that is homegrown Midwest. Wisconsin is, and I fucking love Wisconsin.
I love it.
Don
It's just-
Gorski.
Don Borski, yeah.
Don Gorski.
Don Gorski. I have a Big Mac hamburger every day, and he's had it for how many years? 50 some odd years. Now it's got to be. I mean, it's been.
Yeah, it says here on Wikipedia he's eaten over 34,128.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Those are the
Big
people
Macs.
that the second they have like one salad, they're fucking
They
dead.
die. He goes to the
They're
hospital.
dead.
They're like,
Yeah.
you have you're riddled with cancer. The Big Macs have been keeping your cancer at bay. The Big Macs have been acting. The Big Macs have been chemo for you. You stopped chemo by stopping Big Macs, and now you'll die.
Well, the funny thing about that movie Super Size Me is when like he got them to do away with the supersize thing. That was like the big victory, but I'm like, it's still they can still order like 2 fries.
Right.
They're still killing themselves.
This is my same theory about when someone's like we were talking about this at baseball games. You can't order beer after the 7th inning stretch, or same thing.
You just drink more.
Yeah, it's just
Boston, the bars close earlier. Do they seem like healthy people in Boston?
Yeah.
Like they just get it all in before.
Yeah, the
fucking
theory doesn't
2
work.
or
You're just going to
whatever.
black out quicker, which I think is more dangerous than if you let people drink slower and longer over the course of the night. It's a lot easier for them to temper it off, so they won't be as fucked up. I always thought that was such a foolish idea. I'm like, they're either doing that for concessions to close up so they can clean up to get out of there early, because there's no chance that there's insurance laws being like, can't serve after a certain hour, because then people are going to be drinking and driving. I think that's the sell, is like the gap time of getting out of
Gotcha.
there.
That makes sense.
But what are you talking about? I had 6 in the first 3 innings. You know
So
what I mean?
you're still fucked up.
Yeah, you're still fine. It's like, what are we talking? There's no way that changed. Like, same thing when you go to a Knicks game. You can't order after a certain amount of time. They close down beer floor sales, right?
What do they say? We're gonna drunk walk.
Yeah.
I'm walking.
I want
after
you
that.
blacking out, walking around here.
No, there is something about like they think they're being healthier, but it's like, who are you helping? I don't.
Well, we don't, because we really don't care, right? As not people, but the government doesn't really give a fuck. They're just everyone's saving their own ass. Like we learned yesterday, this is crazy. Don't look up the number, but don't say anything. How many cigarettes do you think are smoked in a day? Every day around the world.
But geez, I wouldn't even know where to guess.
It's an insane guess, but just think about it. What is it? How many billion? 7 billion people, something like that, right? Aren't we 6.5 or something? How many cigarettes do you think are smoked a day?
1 million?
1 million
I don't-
cigarettes?
Is that crazy high?
Crazy low. Crazy low.
Oh, low. Okay.
Crazy amount of cigarettes around the world.
Yeah, I guess I didn't factor in China. Let me get. Let me get.
India, China,
Yeah. Okay. How about like 10 million?
14 billion cigarettes
Billion?
a day are smoked.
Damn.
Look that up.
I can't find anything specifically that's saying 14 billion.
We did the math on it last night at dinner. Me and Salvo Cano were out to dinner, and we did the math. It said How many cigarettes are smoked a day globally? And then you'll see the number. 14 billion is what we deduced last night after all was said and done. And I thought, fuck, we're in the wrong business. Oh my God, do we got to get into cigarette sales?
Damn.
If that many people are still smoking,
And they
because
don't, and they don't advertise.
What does that
so
say?
this is what it's on this site. It says in 2020 the world consumed about 5.2 trillion cigarettes. So in the year of 2020, so 5.2 trillion divided by 365.
Well, do the math right there. 5.2 trillion divided by 365. I think it came out to around 14. You got to turn your phone sideways for that one. You know how the calculator fucking. You got to go sideways.
14.2 billion.
I was right. 14.2 billion cigarettes in a day.
Damn.
And it just shook my soul to be like, this is a proven killer. Proven killer. Now, there's no argument
No one
about
cares,
it.
though.
Doesn't matter.
But in 2012, the world consumed 6.25 trillion cigs. So within 8 years, it went down by about 1 trillion.
Hey!
I feel like young people are vaping. They're not smoking as much.
Well, that's what's interesting. I
Yeah,
wonder how
some.
skewed the numbers are with that. I said that. I was at the club. Well, I don't know if I should say. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all legal. But it's like, all the servers at the club now, as we get older, they're all in their 20s and they're young hustlers, all really nice, sweet young kids. And they're all of them waiting for the drink line. And they're all hitting the vape pen. And I mean all of them. Like, I looked down the hallway for a second because I was going to go get a Diet Coke. And like 6 of them were all hitting vape pens. I was like, man, this is like the new revolution. Every young person is doing it. Where, I started smoking in my 20s. And it was, when I was working, you had to take a big break to be able to go out and hit a cigarette. The convenience level was so low.
Well, New York had that's like right around when they had you got to go outside to have a cigarette.
Right.
Because I remember growing up doing clubs, even like certain cities still let you smoke inside.
Oh, 100%.
Do you remember that
Oh,
shit?
yeah, dude. And no one, by the way, it felt so normal because growing up in Chicago, there's still a lot of Chicago places that kind of let you get away with it. If you're a local and it's a towny bar and it's you know what I mean? It's like, no one's going to say anything. Now, no. But this is 15, 20 years ago. You still do it. No one really said shit.
Yeah,
there was like an area that like, yeah, they smoke back there. If you don't like it, just don't go back
So
there.
funny picturing guys like Jerry Seinfeld, like clean comics and stuff in the 80s, just working these rooms covered in smoke.
Yeah.
Like you just don't picture that, but that was their life,
Yeah, that is funny. What is it? What's with the smoke?
Emphysema!
Emphysema. Zima. An ad for Zima. Who was that? Who was the Zima guy? Who was it? It was, what? Come on, dude. Remember the Zima the commercials? Who was it? Was it,
know.
what comic did Zima ads?
Roger Kabler.
No. Fuck. Holy shit. There was a comedian that did ads for, do you remember Zima? Zima was
I
like a
remember the
seltzer,
drink. Yeah, it was like a
alcoholic
Mike's
seltzer.
Hard Lemonade type
100%, but it was
shit.
way before its time.
It's pretty bad.
It was so
It
awful.
tasted good when you were like 14.
Yeah, because you were like, whoa, there's booze in this?
Yeah.
It tastes like soda with booze.
And then you're like, fuck it, I want a beer.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Richard Lewis with Boku. Do you remember Boku?
No.
Holy fuck. Boku was, we'll put up a picture for the audience. Boku was like a fruit-flavored, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know if it was
like a premium
alcoholic.
malt beverage or something?
Yeah, Boku. Look at those ads for Boku.
Oh my God, he's young there.
A fruit juice brand in 1990. And it was it was Minute Maid made it. It was boxed like an adult juice. But Richard Lewis used to do commercials for it. R.I.P. Richard Lewis, another
Did you
another
know him?
legend lost. No, and that's one of those guys where, man, do I wish I
You had him come on here.
I just wish I had, because he was, I mean, what a king. I think that dude was so fucking funny.
He was awesome. I DM with him a couple of times, but I didn't know him.
Really?
Yeah, he
Never met in person though.
No, never.
Ugh.
No. I loved him. Curb is like, he's legendary on Curb.
I just think his style was so funny and self-deprecatory in a way that you're like, when some people are self-deprecating, but it's also like uplifting. You're like, man, you're really good. I love you.
I always
And-
feel that, yeah, like those are the guys that make me feel better about life.
Yeah.
Like, I remember like Rolling Stone had the album, like the most depressing album of all time. And it was Leonard Cohen's greatest hits. I'm like, his music makes me feel good.
So good.
Because it's like, it's self-aware. And
Yeah.
like, and it's like, he's not scared of how or at least he doesn't act like he's scared of how dark the world is,
No, he just knows that it exists. He's just saying the thing that a lot of people are like, I feel that way too.
But that's how, that's how I feel like about any comic who's like I watch a Richard Pryor special. I'm like, oh, he's so at peace with, like, you could say like some of this stuff makes him like a cautionary tale, some of this material, but he's so at peace with like how fucked up he is that he's able to joke about it.
Right. Well, because at some point, I think it's probably so detrimental to your, to your mental that you're like, well, I have to. It's either that old cliche. It's like either cry or I laugh. It's like I might as well laugh about it.
When something bad happens, aren't you often like once the anger goes away, you're like, I'm gonna get a bit.
Yeah. Oh,
that does help.
Almost always. You're like, I think there's a bit, and I think this is part of a bit.
I remember having a meltdown when I was a really young comic, and I was like, I flew this website called Cheapo Air because like I was just trying to save money any way I could to go on the road, dumb merch stuff, and it was called Cheapo Air because you could do like Delta to American on a Connect, so you do different airlines, but then if you miss the Connect flight, you're fucked.
No one's responsible.
You're
right,
so I remember I missed a flight to do this festival in Grand Rapids, and I'm asking the guy at the desk, and he's just a prick. He's just laughing at me because he's like, "You idiot!" And of course now I see what a dumbass I am. But in the moment, you're just like a struggling comic, and you're like, "Please, just like help me." Right. And he just started laughing at me, and I go, "You fat fuck!" I just lost it, and people around me are like, like once you feel people reaching for their phones, I'm just like, oh, I got to get it together. This is bad. But then then I had to buy like a coach one-way Connect for like $600, and I was like, God damn it!
That was all the money you were going to make at the festival.
Yeah,
by the
I
way.
was fucked. Like, and but then once it goes away, you're like, it'll be a bit.
Right, and also totally my fault. It's almost always your fault when you get really, really upset.
But he didn't have to laugh in my face. He could have been like, "Oh, that sucks." You're
but it's very funny that he did.
It is funny.
The balls
he
on that
laughed
guy.
in my fucking face.
Cheapo Air. Hey man, this guy used Cheapo Air. This fucking idiot.
Cut to the podcast sponsors. Cheapo Air. It's a great airline you could do if you're too broke for Expedia.
Go to Cheapo Air.
Yeah.
They make you in the middle of the flight. They're like, you got to jump out. There's a Delta. You got to be able to careen into another flight midair.
We couldn't spring you a parachute. It's Cheapo Air. It's the only website that sounds like they're insulting you.
Right. Oh God, Cheapo
I tried
Air?
to do no flights on Cheapo Air. I tried Jew Boy Air. That was I got a flight.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Hey, today's episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Rabbit Hole Distillery, straight from Louisville, Kentucky. These guys are seriously redefining the standards of bourbon. I've talked about them endlessly on the show. I like this sauce. It's a good sauce. Their motto says it all: no shortcuts, no compromise, nothing left to chance. This means every single tiny detail in their whiskey making process is finely tuned to perfection like a beautiful sports car. Vroom, vroom, baby. It's no wonder their bourbon and rye whiskeys keep racking up the awards. They do so. They cleaned up the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, pulling in gold and double golds left and right. They're falling from the sky for these guys. Rabbit Hole is great. Here's what really sets them apart, honestly. All bourbon is aged in charred barrels, but every drop of Rabbit Hole is aged in charred and toasted barrels. They doubling down. Think of toasting like a marshmallow, drawing out deep, bold, caramelized flavors that make every sip a rich, smooth experience. It truly is a delicious sipping bourbon. They're all about keeping things tight with their small batches, only 15 barrels each. It's how Rabbit Hole ensures every bottle is more than just crafted. It's hand-picked treasure. Small batch, big flavor. If you're looking for the perfect gift or you want to treat yourself, Rabbit Hole stands out as a one-of-a-kind choice. Head over to rabbitholedistillery.com. Use the promo code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. Again, rabbitholedistillery.com. Promo code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. Treat yourself or someone special to a bourbon that's crafted with passion, not just produced. Dive into Rabbit Hole and discover something extraordinary. Listen up, renters. Ever feel like you're stuck in this loop of rent payments, just watching your money vanish into thin air? It's time to turn that rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. That's where Bilt Rewards comes in. Bilt Rewards is breaking ground as the first rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. What? Come on. Even if you're still rocking the old school rent check vibes, Bilt Rewards has got your back. They mail the check for you. They do the work for you. It's like having a personal rent-paying assistant. Don't you want that? Every single month, pay your rent and watch the Bilt points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points towards a flight or hotel stay with 500-plus airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties. That's so many. I didn't even know there was that many. Use your points to sweat it out. Redeem your points to book fitness studio classes. You can also use your points toward a future rent payment or toward a future down payment on a home. That is pretty incredible. So many people are just renting, tossing some money up in the sky. Why not get something back for that? Okay? Pay rent hassle-free through the Bilt Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Bilt points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate. So people are squawking about it on the intro webs. Why not join the revolution. If you're somebody that pays rent, like a high majority of people are doing, not everyone can be a homeowner, and maybe if you're building towards that, why not get points in the meantime? Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbilt.com/whiskey. That's joinbilt.com/whiskey. Earn those rewards. Get something for what you're putting out there to the world and build something for yourself.
Ginger. I like gingers.
What is your, when you brought up Leonard Cohen, it made me think, what's your, like, are you the kind of guy that puts on the music to match your mood, or do you offset it? Do you go the opposite? Like, if you're fucking bummed out, do you put on some shit that's going to probably try to put you in a better mood, or you really sink into it?
Damn, that's a good question. I don't know. I guess I go both ways. Like, yeah, sometimes if I'm like end of the night, it's a lot of mood music. So if I need to get the energy up for like before a show, put something like the Bee Gees on.
Ooh.
Or
I would not pick you as a Bee Gees guy.
I love the
That's
Bee Gees
interesting.
were Australian, but they felt so New York to me. I mean, I guess Saturday Night Fever helped
It's
with
because
that.
the
but,
disco of New York in that era
I
kind
fucking
of felt.
love their
yeah.
music, dude. They're just so cool.
It's crazy they're fucking Australian.
I know.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, what? It's like they don't. It doesn't seem. Everyone that is Australian, artist or either musician or performer, you almost never think of them as Australian. People do it all the time with what's his name? Christian Bale? No.
He's Wales, I think.
No, you know who I'm thinking of.
Fucking
God, what's
Mel
wrong?
Gibson?
Mel Gibson's not Australian.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but he's lived here for longer, right? He's like an American. After the Jew stuff, maybe. Maybe he's a real
We
American.
tried to get him deported. No.
That made him a real American. He hates Jews. Gibson's one of us, man.
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman. You never really. Every time I see him in interviews, I'm always like, right.
Yeah.
He's not ours. Right.
Well, there's something about like I was thinking about like all those, the Bee Gees. Another good like pump up before show music is Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, ELO's the shit.
Fucking
So good.
I was gonna say Frankie Valli and Michael Jackson. I'm just like I only listen to people whose balls haven't dropped. Basically, just all fucking high voice.
Men that sound like women.
Yeah,
I do love the men that sound like women though, like that fucking the Greta Van Fleet. Love. I know people say it's like a Zeppelin rip up, but I mean, same thing.
Young people are turning on Zeppelin now.
What is that the thing?
Young people like are hating. I love Zeppelin.
Wait,
Young
why
people,
is the turn happening
I think
after they're all gone?
Because of Jimmy Page.
probably the Jimmy Page stuff with the young chicks, but then also
What
the
do you do,
fact
back
that they
in
stole
time?
the word is that they stole from opening bands and stuff.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't fucking know. I still like their shit, but yeah, I don't know enough about music. Like with comedy, I could totally be like, well, that's not true, or that they did see. I could have but I don't know enough. So I always feel weird.
But none of us
weighing in on
really
music.
do, though, right?
Yeah.
Who would know except for the people that were really there, a part of the thing, and also. Okay, if somebody accuses them of like ripping riffs or something like that, but they certainly didn't steal outright songs. And if they did, doesn't it feel like we would know by now? It almost feels like you'd
I feel like
see
it was
it.
harder to know back then.
Yeah,
I feel
because
like
those
you'd get
bands
away
probably
with it.
disappeared into nothingness.
Think about all the music we love that was just like fucking people got fucked.
Oh, dude, most of it. I mean, I would say most of, particularly if you like stuff from like the, a soul era. That was like the dirtiest era of music in terms
Oh,
of like
yeah.
ripping off those artists and then making no fucking.
Oh,
money.
Hesh and the Sopranos is like I feel like that type of character is the reason why like black people do not like Jews.
Well, no, there's a couple more reasons.
Landlords, something like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, they put that on the show too. The fucking Hasidic landlords. They inserted so much of that shit on that
they
show.
did not
It's
make
kinda
us
weird.
look good in the
No.
Sopranos. They didn't, in his defense, they didn't make Italians look great either.
No, yeah, it was an even split
Yeah.
to be honest. No, the Hasidic landlord episode. You just made me remember that.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was so fucking
Hilarious,
funny. His dad owned it, right? Isn't that what it was?
I don't. That was like an early app. Wasn't it
Yeah.
like season 1 or something? Yeah.
Season 1 or 2. You know what's so funny is I was talking to someone else about this. I went back and started rewatching because I rewatched twice. By the third kind of go around, I was like, all right.
Well, you're done with it.
Well,
now?
just because TV's so there's so much really beautifully well shot, awesome shit. Have you?
You're
seen...
not trying to fucking turn on the Sopranos.
No.
Are you?
I think I can't watch it anymore. I think I need to put
Maybe
it
you
away.
just
for
need a little
while.
break.
I need a break.
I think TV is like there's a lot of good TV, but like, man, I always go back to the classic shows just because of how good they are. You know?
Yeah,
I mean, the same way with movies.
I like
too.
comedy classic, but sometimes
Yeah.
drama classic, I see a little corniness because time is so different. Do you know what I mean? The
Not
way
the great movies I think hold up. The great stuff holds up. I think.
It
But
does.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, There was definitely some where you.
There were some
rewatch
moments in
and you're
Sopranos where I was like, this is fucking pretty
It was
corny.
season 1, episode 3.
Episode 3 with the Hasidic
Early,
Hotel. That's
yeah.
right. The Hasidic Motel.
Shlomo Tittleman.
Shlomo Tittleman.
The
Shout out to Shlomo Tittleman, which is actually Sam Morril's birth name.
It was.
Changed it.
Gary Goldman always calls me Shlomo.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's
Or
so...
he calls me Shmooly, actually.
Shmooly?
Yeah.
Shmooly's such a good name.
Shmooly's a funny one.
What is this? Where does this come from? Was this just a
I think it's
term of endearment
I think
for
he
him?
would just think that'd be my Hebrew name, Shmooly. I don't think it is, but I think
What?
he
You
thought-
don't even know what your Hebrew name is?
I think it'd be like Shimon or something like that.
Shimon?
Something. You could probably look it up.
What is it
Same.
based on? How do you know?
have
It's
no
given,
idea.
right? It's given.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's so funny. What a bad Jew. Doesn't even know how it works.
It might be Shmooly.
Shmooly means his name is God.
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right.
Do you remember your bar mitzvah or no?
A little bit, yeah. I was like 13.
But I mean, like, was it important to you or no?
No.
No.
God, no.
Because I have a lot of friends. I have too many Jewish friends, if I'm being honest. And they all say it was like such a big integral part of their youth. But I imagine because you're a performer, those are weird for you. Like, that's a harder thing.
I
Because kids
memorized
love...
my Haftorah. I didn't even like learn Hebrew. I was
You
like,
bailed.
I can memorize this.
Was
I'll
it
just
your
memorize it.
was it important for your mom? Was it like a big deal?
Yeah,
for her?
I think so. I think my grandparents were very religious Jews. Like, we'd be in the car and they'd be playing like Hebrew music, and I'd be like, "Can we get some Zeppelin on?"
Yeah, and then and then your grandpa's like, they stole. You're like, all right, Grandpa.
So did we. If you
Yeah,
think about
yeah,
it.
we're being honest.
But no, I never. I always related it more like, a guy like culturally, like a guy like Leonard Cohen, or the way like Woody Allen saw New York. That's like how I,
Sure. That was your lens.
That's how I saw it. And no, I saw the way he would, represent New York, like how much he loved it. Like there's a lot about like Jews that's very similar to just being a New Yorker. That like constant, just like, can you believe this shit? Like that's how we all talk. Like, did you hear this happen? Or you complain for like 20 minutes and you're like, good day though. It's like stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's something very Jewish about that. But that's also like the very New York pace where you're in a constant state of irritation, but you're also grateful.
Yeah, because it's the best.
I do it all the time where I'm just like furious all day, and then like right before bed I'll be like, that was a good day I had today.
But I think that's a comics play
Yeah.
too. Comedians in particular love that kind of vibe of like the drama of complaining. Also,
Because it
feels
leads to
good.
feeling. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it feels
like,
good.
Once you're numb and bored and complacent, I feel like the material's dry. So I think being annoyed is I'm actually getting bits.
Well, it's engaging, right? It's like they always say. My grandfather was obsessed with crosswords and word puzzles and all that. He loved that and numbers and all that stuff. And they say he didn't know at the time, but like it's super, super engaging for your brain because it's struggling and it's frustrating. And it's like the more that your brain has to like tinker and figure out, because we're creatures that are really trying to analytically figure out our surroundings and how do we make way. And when you become so easily accessible to food at your doorstep and drugs at your doorstep and you don't have to fucking leave, your brain is not engaged. You're just slowly dying. It just goes away.
It's a good point. You feel better like going out and grabbing takeout than you do.
Oh, I love going to get it. I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to feel it.
I
I
wanna
want to
do
go.
something.
Yeah,
You
and
gotta-
I have friends that fucking do not leave. They don't want to. They just are like, nah, I'll just get it.
I have a friend I have to like force out of the house, and then he's always like so glad he came out, but he's just one of those dudes. He just works too much, and he's like, I'm too tired. I'm like, yeah, but this is you're gonna be old before you know it, and
Yep.
you're not doing shit with your life. But
You got to go feel it, dude.
you need to do
You
something.
got to go.
Because I also feel like it's so bad for. Do you ever just not do stuff for a really long time, and then you go out and do stuff, and your mind is just like flooded with ideas, and you're like, oh, those have been fucking backlogged.
Yeah, just
You
sitting
know?
there on the shelf.
It's like the levees in Katrina, just like just comes out. You're like, holy shit, thoughts, jokes, ideas.
George Bush does not care about black people. That will loop in my head for the rest of my life.
That was crazy.
I remember watching that. And my dad being like,
Damn.
"Live, huh?" I was like, "Live, live."
Mike Myers' face, like, guess we're doing this now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shrek. Sitting next to him is Shrek, future Shrek, being like, please donate. What do you say? I mean, it's
Kanye's had some stages, huh?
yeah, he's really gone
There's
up and
been-
down.
I mean, there was that. There was the Taylor Swift thing. There was
it's so weird.
I don't like Jews. There's been a lot of
And now this like he's in this kind of purgatory, right? It's weird. It's like he's public he's out. He's like living again, but no one's paying much mind.
He like tried to get into the Kendrick and Drake.
And he didn't let him. They didn't let him in.
Yeah, he was like he did a remix to the first Future and Kendrick song, and he's like, "Yo, I got you, Kendrick," and then no one paid him any mind.
It's really interesting. It's kind of like he's living in his ultimate hell. In somebody else's would be great because they're like, okay, finally the attention's not on me every day. I'm sick of the criticism. He's so obsessed with the criticism and the attention. This must be hell for him, not getting any love or attention.
It's like literally our generation in a nutshell of people that would rather just be posting nonstop and getting hate than just taking a second, thinking about it. Like no love is apathy is worse than any hate you could get online.
Yeah, that's it. So
that's our generation.
The
Think
key
about
to
it,
the
like,
generation.
Oh, sorry, haters. Like that's how they started. They're like, oh, sorry if this bothers you. That's how you start a tweet. It's like maybe you don't have to like start shit. I had a guy. This is like fucking very for you. I had a guy. I posted just a picture of me and a friend at a pizza place in New York, and some guy writes underneath, "Chicago pizza's better. Fuck you. Fight me." I'm like, I can't just have the pizza I like.
Fine, where? Yeah, yeah. Well, but that's become it's become a way for someone to scratch this weird itch. That's all it is. It's just scratching an itch.
Well, it's addictive. I think they get a dopamine
it feels
rush.
good.
And then once
Fuck
you do that,
Sam. Yeah, and then they're like, all right, back to my job. You know what I mean? They get a minute of fuck you.
Yeah, it's like attention. Even it's like I guess we just found a way to like attention, good or bad, is better than no attention, and it's like sadly, but it's so weird with Kanye. It's weird when it's a guy who is this gifted creator, this guy
brilliant.
who really can make incredible music. It's weird but we don't know what's going on mentally with him. Like there's some shit going on. Like he probably needs some
help,
sort of prescription.
Help,
yeah,
any kind of help.
It's
He's
sad.
gone down a dark path.
That kid just seems like, imagine splitting custody with that guy. That's got to be stressful. Like you watch the movie Kramer versus Kramer, you're like, this is heaven compared to
It's a cakewalk.
What Kim Kardashian's got to deal with every fucking week.
Kardashian West, the battle, the struggle. By the way, they're making that show right now. This month on Hulu, Splitting Time, like it's a sitcom.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad's yelling about the Jews again.
I just looked it up. There was a show, I forgot, it only went one episode in BBC, but it was like a Hitler sitcom.
No way.
Hitler was a neighbor of
I
some
thought that was a
Jews.
joke. That wasn't a bit?
It made it like an episode.
Oh.
I can't believe it made it an episode. But like,
I thought it was a bit. Well, have you've seen...
think about the shit we've pitched that they've passed on.
And they got that?
Somehow that made it through.
Heil, honey, I'm home.
Heil, honey, I'm home. No way.
Now you hear it is kind of funny.
That's very funny. Heil, honey, I'm home.
Yeah, they made 8 episodes, but 7 went unaired.
I wonder if you could find them anywhere.
They're in some vault in BB. Actually, no, they're historically really bad at backing up. Like even like 100 or so Doctor Who episodes are permanently lost because they usually just retape over.
Yeah, they would tape over old tape. I've
as
heard
bad
this
as
story.
we are at preserving media in the States, they're even worse.
Yeah.
That's
why we left. You couldn't preserve media, could you, Britain?
But look, I mean, but then you also think about it. You're like, I mean, people probably thought Mel Brooks was crazy to do the producers. You're doing
100%,
Springtime for Hitler is fucking insane.
Yeah,
but he stuck the landing on it because it's amazing.
Yeah, but it was made by a Jew, so that's
True.
different too.
Well, I don't know who
was that made by a Jew? Who was that? Who made Heil, Honey, I'm Home?
Jeff Atkinson.
I do not think so.
But also
Didn't grow up with a lot of Atkinsons, did you?
Any relation to Rowan Atkinson? Maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe
British?
then. That's actually true.
But there's a way that you could look at like Springtime for Hitler. There's no way you can interpret that as anything other than the most silly, ridiculous. Like no Nazi
Pure
would be
satire.
like that. But I could see a Nazi potentially being like, oh look it, he's kind of a silly, funny guy. Like Springtime for Hitler is so ridiculous.
Yeah, but
And
you could,
even
say,
like
you could say the same thing for Taika Waititi's movie.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of the name of that movie?
Yeah, it was Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit, right. You could say
really
the
like
same
that.
thing. I did too, but you could say the same thing about it, that it's laughing at, but there are parts of it that are so kind of surreal that you're like, yeah, this is a little supportive in a strange way. It makes you kind of go, Hitler's kind of fun on this show.
But it's different than like
weird.
an American History X. Like some neo-Nazis love American History X
course.
or other movies because they're like, even though the text is anti-Nazi, they're still like, look, they're beating up these guys.
Well, that's
in black and
always
white
gonna
and
happen.
slow-mo.
Bloodbath, for sure.
But like no Nazi
Yeah.
would ever watch The Producers and be like, hell yeah.
I don't
It's
know,
just
man. That's
ridiculous.
That's how America works, though, right? Like you like the idea that I think we talked about this one time. the idea that most like in the 90s world, like gangsters' favorite movie, you'd walk in anybody's and a Scarface poster be on their wall.
Yeah.
And the irony that they didn't understand, that was such a
Didn't end
fucking
well for-
cautionary
didn't end
tale.
well for that
right.
guy.
The point was, this is how it all goes down. It ends very badly.
He killed his best friend.
Yes, and then
he fucked this guy's wife, and then he
and
had
basically
the
killed
worst-
himself.
And killed
He
himself.
basically killed himself. But people were like, that was glorified in gangster culture, like Scarface, man, the fucking man. You're like, that's the worst version. No, that's the opposite. That's what I mean. So sometimes we embrace it when it's so bad. It's
Now the most offensive part is Pacino's accent in that movie.
it's pretty bad.
It's
Yeah.
pretty rough.
It's pretty bad.
I love Pacino, but holy shit, that's a weird. That's a
Well,
weird
looking
one.
back on all his stuff, like Heat is crazy. Like those choices in Heat were fucking weird.
Yeah, just to be
very
coked
good.
out.
But when you see it now, you're like,
Yeah.
I can't believe like there wasn't someone behind the camera like, okay, yeah, sure, do it, fuck it.
He just recently claimed he wasn't on coke for anything.
Yeah, that's what they say.
They're like literally like this week. He was
That's
like,
what they
he just
say.
said
I
it.
don't buy
but,
that.
But that would make his choices even crazier if he was doing that.
Maybe
not
that's why
on
his
coke.
dick still works at 83.
How do you not? He knocked, right? He just had a kid.
Knocked up like a 30-year-old.
Good for you,
At
dude.
83?
Good for you. He's not going to be around. That's my presidential theory.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
should
going to
be
see it
president.
through. It doesn't fucking matter. That kid will barely get through elementary school. He's out.
I always think of Rock's bit about De Niro doing that, and Rock like being like, "I'm done. I'm not doing it again in my 70s. I'm not going to watch Hannah Montana again." That's such a great
It's
bit.
such a great bit.
But yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
It's strange. Yeah.
I've never done coke in my life.
No, dude. You know what's so funny? I've never tried it once. Well, that's only because my dad was an addict. So for me,
Really?
that was like the biggest, like, no fucking way. But I did
Damn.
a lot of other drugs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or fortunately. It was very fun. But
Coke
Coke was
scared
always
me.
the scary one.
I had a high school coach that was like Len Bias, Daryl, all these like
Heart
players.
attack.
Yeah, all these guys who just died, and he like got in my head, terrified me. And then I knew a
Mm-hmm.
kid who fucking killed himself on coke, and I'm like, all right, maybe that gave him the confidence to jump out of a 30-story window. And I was like, I shouldn't touch this probably. So it was just ingrained in my head. But
Yeah.
also now, can you imagine doing fucking coke now?
Fentanyl?
With this, I guess they have testers, but wouldn't you be testers? I call them the openers on the road. But they have like a machine that
do
can
it.
test it. Yeah. Hey, Viator, you try the coke.
Gary, go for it. Take a bump and let me know.
But I feel like that's
No, that's a scary one of the. It's one that also for me all my life when we were young, if someone was like, "Hey man, so and so is gonna have coke," and it's like, I can't afford coke.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you
Crazy.
guys? I'm so broke. I can't
Yeah.
afford fucking coke. Was like such a
weed was expensive back then.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not
Plus, you're
going.
buying it illegally, you know you're getting fucked.
Oh, you're absolutely
Now
getting
legally,
fucked.
you're probably like, all right, well, this is the legal amount.
Well, you're getting fucked still, but different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're getting fucked by a corporation. Or before you're just getting fucked by a guy who drove a Camaro. That was just a tougher.
Yeah, the most dangerous part of smoking weed growing up was getting into a stranger's car. It wasn't the weed. It was just like, we're going through Central Park. I hope I make it out of here. Okay.
Or having to have a
Washington Square
conversation
Park,
with that
wherever,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, sitting for a little bit too long in someone's apartment. When
Yeah.
you're like, all right, man, I gotta get out of here. No, sit. Let's smoke one more before you go. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I have to chat with this guy for another 35 minutes. I really want to go home. And then I would make up an excuse. I'd be like, fuck. Shit, I'm late to pick up. And they're like, oh, really? And he's like, shit, I'm so sorry, dude. I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm 15. I'm in an apartment with a bunch of 40-year-olds playing Tony Hawk. You're like, holy shit, maybe I shouldn't smoke. I don't want to end up like this.
Like, somebody's got to change that main menu. I've heard the song Superman 47 times now. Da, 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 da. You're like, dude, I'm too high to hear that loop again. Please turn it the fuck off.
That was a good tune, though.
It was so good.
That was good.
It was, wait, hold on. Oh, fuck.
Here I am.
Yeah, but who's the band? I'm trying.
Goldfinger.
Was that Goldfinger?
Yeah.
Doing everything I can. I remember that album. It was like an alien chick, right? It was a sexy alien chick on that Goldfinger album. The good old days.
Yeah.
I want to say this to you. I love you. I appreciate you. I can't wait to
too,
see you
man.
again soon when I come back out to New York.
Yeah.
Please go watch Sam's special. It's out right now on Amazon. Well, we're supposed to say Prime, right? No, we're not
I
supposed to
don't
say
even
Amazon.
know.
One time, well, because when I did the movie for Amazon, they were like, stop saying Amazon, say Prime Video.
Why?
Because it's not on Amazon. It's on Prime Video. Because they're you know how HBO is Max now?
Right.
But Amazon exists as an app to buy shit. And they're like, we're not Amazon. We're Prime Video. I was like, okay. Because during all
I
the...
think people know that you don't go to like the paper towel page to watch my thing.
Sam, you say
think they
this.
know it's
Sam,
on
you say
Amazon.
This. You
Yeah.
say this.
Yeah.
But you don't think there's someone out there being like, I tried to watch Sam Morril, but I bought soap. And I guess I'm just that's gonna be good enough for me. No, go watch it on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm happy with this one.
You know
this
where
one
it is.
I like this one, so I hope you watch it. Now I'm in the stages of having to rewrite a new fucking act, which like, oh my god.
Are you
kill
on
me.
tour right now?
I'm on tour, and I'll be. I got Miami. I'll be in Miami in August. I'll be in Baltimore area. Timonium is what it actually is, and then I'll be. All over doing a bunch of casinos with Chrissy D. Nimesh is on some of those too. Nimesh
Love.
Patel.
Good crew.
And then because we're all building back up ours, and then I'm going to Europe, and I'm doing like all over Europe, doing London, Amsterdam,
Dude, I've
Oslo.
never done the European tour, and I want to so
I'm
bad.
pumped. Yeah, I'm hitting like everywhere. So I know some people are like, no Italy, no Germany. Next time, I wanted to. So
Germany's sensitive for Sam.
Belfast.
So let's
No,
be
I
honest.
want. That was actually the fucked up thing. Is like I've never been to Berlin. I really want to go there. So
It's actually fucking beautiful.
I heard it's gorgeous. I
Yeah.
was so bummed.
It is
man.
really, really pretty. Germany's so gorgeous, and also they're nice now. So
I'm
they've
everywhere.
changed.
So just it's samuel.com/shows and
Go to samuel.com/shows. Go watch the fucking special. Go see my friend on tour. You're one of the best comics working. I've known you for a long time, and you've always gotten better and better, and it's undeniable. At some point, you're going to continue to keep moving forward, and I'll be watching you from my window drinking coffee as you ascend into the outer sphere of
You're fucking killing me.
comedy. No, I'm a bum. We're looking at that camera right now. And we end the episode the same way with one word or one phrase. So whenever you're ready, you end the episode at your leisure. One word or one phrase.
You've changed. July 9th, Amazon Prime Video.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.